Hey everyone, my name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at some pro-revenge stories, so sit back, relax and enjoy. I turned off a radio station. In the 90s, I was a technical operator for a radio station. Long story short, I made production elements for them and adverts on top of my other duties. New management came in and decided to only pay me for the tech ops shifts I had done and nothing for the production. First month he was there, I had invoiced for a little over £3,000 and received a £960 check. I ran the overnight, so when midnight came, I moved all my production into a hidden folder in System 32, shut down the servers, threw the breakers, and left. I got a phone call in the morning and was asked to come in for a meeting, as I'd left them up the creek. I'd made pretty much 70 to 80% of all the adverts and production. Stingers, idents, montages. The new boss was a douche. He told me I damaged the product, which I just laughed at, as before he came in it was a great 80 station, and he turned it into a top 40 station you could find up and down the dial. We'll call him Jay. I'd also found out that the sales staff were charging customers £200 for advert production. They were on 10% commission and I was getting £40 for each advert, and they pocketed the rest on top of their commission. Bear in mind the rest of the outsourced ads cost £150 to £200. In the meeting, I laid out my demands. I can restore everything, but I don't only want the money you owe me from the past month, I want the money from the previous adverts your sales staff has pocketed from my work. They essentially made £160 extra from each advert on top of their commission, around £300 to £400 a pop. There's no way we can do that. Well, there's no way I can restore the adverts. Jay, looking at pieces of paper on his desk, we can give you an extra £200 a month. I want the whole amount. I handed him an invoice that totaled a little over £16,000. Jay, the colour now drained from his face, Jay. You honor that invoice or you will have to recreate or outsource all of the production. Okay, let me see what I can do. I'll sort something out for your next invoice date. Jay, if I don't walk out of here with the money today, you don't get them back. As soon as you restore them, I'll see what I can do. Jay, I will have no guarantees and I'm not stupid. A bank transfer today and we can sort that out right here and now. Jay then phones the head office and within the hour, I had every penny of it in my account. His face was a picture when he followed me to the server to watch me just move the files over from one folder to the other. Yes, they were right under your nose. Jay, through gritted teeth, you'd best get home and get some sleep. No, good luck tonight. Within 5 hours, I was in Spain where I stayed for 4 weeks. When I got back, I did hear through the grapevine that the sales team were out for blood. Jay shouted at them and blamed them for me being ripped off, and they all lost their commission for 3 months and just got basic pay to make up for the loss. I'm pretty sure the company made more than enough back from that to pay me for my hostage negotiation. I used some of what was left to buy a laptop and started DJing around town for a few years. Back then it was a rare sight and used to get nerdy types on a night out just hanging around the booths to see what I was doing with a computer in a pub. My friend used to say that I looked like I was doing my homework. I read about these too often, like the boss is not paying the person they should pay and then get really confused and shocked when the person said, "Oh no, I wasn't paying." Think you can steal my stuff and get away with it? Good luck studying for exams with a broken laptop. Back in my first year of college, I used to live in a residence on campus with 3 other dudes. 2 of them were cool, shout out to B-Dog and Al, but the third, named David, had a nasty habit of taking things that weren't his and mysteriously forgetting that the objects had fallen into his possession. One of the items he had stolen, and were subsequently found in his room, included food and snacks, notebooks, vapes, and earbuds, albeit cheap ones. We'd all complained to our RA, but since they were such small items, we were told that we should just have a house meeting and talk about it with David to have the problem fixed. We had 2 of those, where he claimed, "It all looks so similar, how am I supposed to know which is mine?" Considering that we all kept our stuff in our rooms, this was obviously BS. But the RA, resident assistant, said unless it was something major, campus police wouldn't launch an official investigation. So we instituted a masking tape policy and marked everything. But lo and behold, he still continued his petty theft. Knowing nothing would happen unless I took action, I planned my revenge. I shelled out around $80 for something similar to this bad boy. It was a USB device that once plugged into an unsecured USB port, fried the computer by building a charge and dispersing it into the port, pretty much destroying the CPU among other parts. Now obviously I wasn't going to plant this anywhere, but I had to make it seem like this was a tool and not some sort of setup. So I roped Big Dog and Al in on my plan, and installed this software called Device Lock, which protects USB ports from being used without express permission from the user on all of our devices. Also, just in case the jerk tried to plug it into our laptops. I even went as far as taping my name to this silicone time bomb. With them roped in, the last thing to do was wait and see if David had learned his lesson. It took all of 3 days, but expectedly David did not learn his lesson. I was at the library when this happened, but David had decided that this sexy USB would be the perfect addition to his collection of stolen wares. So he went into my room and took it. Big mistake. I got a Snapchat from Big Dog that David was going postal and I needed to get back ASAP. I hightailed it, and when I got near our residence, I could physically hear David swearing and yelling from the hallway. When I got inside, he was cussing and screaming that he was gonna sue me for purposely trying to damage his laptop by booby-trapping a USB. Admittedly, I should have held my composure better, but I laughed in that guy's face. I told him that the USB was clearly labeled with my name on my desk in my room, and I was using it to test whether my computer ports were secured from devices such as this. Screaming ensued from him, after which our RA showed up, heard that fest from down the hall, and asked what the heck was happening. I stayed quiet to let David attempt to lie his way out of this, but holy freak, the dumb guy kept to his story. After explaining my side, the RA said we were both going to campus police, as this was pretty serious. Cue me thinking I just messed up my whole future for a stupid act of revenge. When we got there and explained our stories, campus police had none of David's stuff. They told him that 1, he cannot sue me since this was not a trap, but a security tool that was within my own living space. of which he had no right entering to steal from. And 2, he was being relocated to this bad single residence on the other side of campus. And if they caught wind of this again, he was getting banned for life from residence as well as receiving a non-academic offense. A nice little chat with the dean about his misconduct. His tone immediately flipped to crying and saying he had all of his exam notes on there. It was stress that was causing him to do this, and he had paid to live in the nicer dormitory-style housing. But they basically told him, "Tough luck, this is your one and final warning." The 3 of us enjoyed the rest of the semester with an extra bedroom for storage space, and beer pong, which was definitely a win. As for David, I've only ever seen him in the cafeteria and library on occasion, sitting there studying without his laptop. I'm really curious at what this guy tried to argue, like, "Oh, I went in there and I stole it, but it was a trap." Like, yeah, you still stole it though. I parked my friend's car in the sun. I learned to regret it. I live in the desert part of the US, and during a few months in the summer, it is consistently over 110 degrees, 43.3 for my Europe bros. I was borrowing my friend's car for a quick drive, cause mine was at the shop. He asked me to park it in the shade, but I could not find a shady spot, so I couldn't. So when he went to use his car, it was burning hot inside. He went to me and asked why I did not park it in the shade, and I told him I could not find any. He told me I would regret it, and I thought he was joking. He then offered to pick up my car from the shop. I said yes because I thought he was just going to park it in the sun for a one-time revenge. So, I drive a Prius and it uses automatic keys that open when you go near it. This will be important later. He parks my car in the sun like I expected and gives back my keys. I expect this to be the end, but no. The next day, I went to work and parked in my normal spot in the shade, one of the only shady spots there. After that, I walked into work and proceeded as normal. Later, I went to find my car during lunch, only to see it is 3 spots over in the sun. I thought that it was weird because I remember parking in my normal spot, but maybe I'm just tired and someone was already there in the spot, and I'm having a memory lapse. My car being in the sun was burning hot. This continues to happen for like 10 more days, until I finally convince myself I'm not crazy. I start thinking, who the freak is moving my car? No one has a key but me. Then I remember my friend and what he said. He had to be the one doing this. I talk to him and he smiles. Apparently, when he went to pick up my car, he got a new automatic key made for $300 and has been moving my car 2 or 3 spots over every day into the sun. Well, let's just say it did not stop happening after that, but instead he did it more. From my apartment to work, he made it his life's duty that summer to make my driving miserable. Also, if you're reading this, you know who you are. Screw you. Additional info. For anyone who thinks it's fake because he could not get the key copied that easily, I had my title and registration in the car. I don't do that anymore because people have made me aware about how dumb that is. I would never take it out because I would lose it. He also had my driver's license so the shop would let him pick up the car. I asked him and he said that the people who made the key just asked for the registration and title and never even asked for the driver license, even though he had it. Also, he has stopped and given me back the key because it's winter now. This story is a few months old. He said that one summer was enough pain for my sin. That's gotta be like really annoying at the time, but now that it's winter, it's probably better because he's just got a $300 spare key for free. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like it, then click on screen right now. And if you never want to miss out on a video, then hit subscribe, but I will see you all very soon.